That's not a joke. That's what happens in the live action Snow White. I found that out the other day, and that was deeply upsetting. Hello, and welcome back to the Cozy Film Corner, or welcome if you're new. For those of you who don't know, my name is Maddie, and I love to talk about film. Here on this channel, I take existing pieces of media and chat through what they would look like if they were adapted into something new, or I will review adaptations against their original source material. You already know from the title, but today we will be talking through and fan casting a live action of Disney's Tangled. This production has been rumored about, talked about on social media, very heavily anticipated, and I will be completely honest, from all of the alleged casting decisions, the different talks Disney says that they've been having with different actors, I'm a little peeved about what I have seen so far, so I felt the urge to come on here and decide to once again scream into the void about who I think should be in the film and why. But before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so you get notified every time I post a new video. And with that, let's jump into a Tangled live action. I would like to start off by prefacing that I have nothing against the people who are currently in talks for these roles. I just personally, from a casting perspective, do not agree with a lot of the current decisions that are being alleged or talked about, and decided that the best place to rant about those feelings would to be on the internet, obviously. Starting off with Rapunzel, and people are going to dislike what I'm going to say, so I'm going to just hold your hand for this one. I don't want it to be Sabrina Carpenter. I know that she's a fan favorite for this, and I can see why, but I just don't see her in this role. And there's been a lot of talks about her because she is a blonde, green-eyed pop singer. She's been endorsed by Mandy Moore, who is the original voice of Rapunzel in the animated version of this film, and she's having like a massive pop culture moment. Absolutely adore her as a performer, as a singer, as an artist. I don't believe that this is the best role for her, and I don't think that she's the best fit for it. This is nothing against putting her in a movie musical. I think that there are some amazing roles that Sabrina would absolutely kill it in. I think that she would be awesome as Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors. I think that if they ever made another revival, which please do, she would be iconic as Alona and She Loves Me. There are so many roles that Sabrina would be absolutely phenomenal in a movie musical or in a regular musical. Rapunzel, in my heart of hearts, is not one of them. And so you might be asking, if not Sabrina, then who? I wholeheartedly believe that this role should go to Avantika Vantanapu. You might know Avantika from her most popular role, which was as Karen in the most recent Mean Girls musical movie. She has this incredible way of playing like a childlike innocence, which is necessary because at the beginning of the film, that is Rapunzel's characterization. And let's all just remember, as we look at these castings, that Rapunzel is 18. Canonically, this takes place on the day of her 18th birthday. Having a younger casting is, in my opinion, the correct choice. Additionally, Avantika's vocal range matches Rapunzel's perfectly. She has such a lovely higher register, an amazing breathy tone to it. I think that it would be so great to hear her kind of come out of her shell a bit more as a vocal artist because she definitely has that ability, locked and loaded. Overall, I just think that she would be the perfect casting for this role. I think she'd knock it out of the park. Playing opposite her as Flynn Rider, I am actively begging Disney to stop casting adult men. This character is in his early to mid 20s, okay? Don't need you to slap a bunch of concealer onto a 35 to 40-year-old man and tell us he's 25. Exempt from this rule, obviously, is Jonathan Bailey as Fiyero, but any other time you're doing this, it's weird. Please stop. So, for Flynn Rider, I would like to present to you Disney Channel original movie star and current off-Broadway performer, Milo Manheim. I think that Milo has the ability to capture the arrogance and the dry sarcasm and humor of Flynn Rider's character absolutely incredibly, followed by, especially what we've seen in recent seasons of School Spirits, more vulnerable and remorseful characterizations. That dichotomy is something that has to be blended really well to have a character who is as likable and as beloved as a character like Flynn Rider in the original film. Next up is Mother Gothel. icon, absolute. I mean, mother for a reason. I already wanted her in this role, but after watching her and hearing her sing in Agatha All Along, I need Catherine Hahn in this film so bad. She can sing, she plays villains so well. Her comedic timing is phenomenal, especially for someone who's still so funny while being sinister. We've already seen that she does this fantastically. I simply don't see any other choice for this role. No notes for Madame Hahn ever. Just send her the contract now. In all honesty, in terms of casting, those were the main three that I've seen a lot about that I was getting a little bit heated about who people were talking about because I just did not agree with most of the fan castings I was seeing. But I would like to offer up my thoughts on a director. For this film, I would love to see this vision be brought to life by Nina Manzoor. Manzoor is a British writer and director who has had really successful projects such as the Channel 4 series We Are Lady Parts. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. And a film called Polite Society, which I absolutely adore. It's on one of my Letterboxd playlists. I think that an adaptation by Manzoor would be really exciting because I think there would be a lot of Bollywood influence, and especially when it comes to that iconic dance scene, the Kingdom Dance. I cannot get the vision of like a Bollywood style dance number with like, as they're like doing the dance in the circle and like Flynn Rider and Rapunzel are just trying so hard to dance with each other, but they keep being pulled into different circles of the dance. I've recently gotten into Bollywood films, and I think that that kind of stylistic take on this adaptation would be so cool to see. And I understand where people's concerns are when it comes to adapting things in different styles or in different genres because they care so much for the source material. I completely see you. I'm talking about this in the way that I am because I also care a lot about the source material. And I understand that if you don't like the adaptation, the source material is still there. The OG animated film has been untouched. So I think that the best way to do an adaptation like this is to pivot in a way that makes it really fun and exciting and new for new audiences so that people can have an appreciation for both versions of the film. And that's something that I think Disney has not gotten a handle on. They are doing so many one-to-one recreations that it's getting so boring. And when they do try and do it, they're trying to do it in a way that is disrespectful to the original source material. Like you look at the new Snow White movie. I understand where people are coming from by saying like that's a really dated story and you should maybe alter it a little bit if you want to make it, more feminist or you want to make it a bit more empowering for female audiences. You can do that without completely derailing it the way that that film did, where it's like, oh, she doesn't have a prince. She has an actor in his acting troupe instead. That's not a joke. That's what happens in the live action Snow White. I found that out the other day, and that was deeply upsetting. But the core of what I'm getting at is you don't need to completely scrap the themes and the morals and the overall plot arc to make something exciting and new. It can be a stylistic reimagining. We've seen that in so many like classic lit to film adaptations, like Taming of the Shrew into 10 Things I Hate About You, like Emma by Jane Austen into Clueless. The narrative structure is the same, but the stylistic decisions involved in making it exciting and new for a different demographic are important. I really would just like Disney to ask themselves, if you are going to be making an adaptation of a movie you already own, why? What is the intention and the purpose behind the remake? Is it another cash grab? Because if that is the answer, I need you to go back to the drawing board. If it's something that is new, it's a new take on a story you've already told. That's what adaptation and retelling are. It's what you did with Tangled when you retold the story of Rapunzel from the Grimm brothers. Give me a reason to want to go and see this film. Because if I want to see Tangled as a one-to-one recreation, I'll go onto your stupid streaming platform and I'll watch it again. Do something different, please. Okay, that was a lot. But those are my current thoughts on a Tangled live action and my fan cast for who I think should be put in the film. I understand that that is not what other people are looking for in the film. I hope you can see it from my side. But if you have your own opinions and you have your own casting decisions, I would love to hear them. Just pop them in the comments below. As a reminder, this is a safe space. I do not tolerate any bullying. We like discussions. We don't like arguments. And with that, I thank you guys for being here for another video. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!